please don't try anything you're about to see at home.
We're what you call experts.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Phil. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Vintage Kids, your weekly thing. Alors, bonsoir et bienvenue à une toute nouvelle épisode, là. Ben oui, hein? The Vintage Kids, votre rendez-vous hebdomadaire, là, genre. Tu sais? Ben oui. Alors, cette semaine, qu'est-ce que nous allons faire? What are we going to talk about this week? Well, for me, this episode's going to be really special. Donc, pour moi, cette semaine, l'épisode de quoi qu'on va parler, ça va être un épisode très spécial. Très spécial. Ben oui. Hein? Puis je vais vous expliquer là, le mieux que je peux pourquoi. If you are new to our podcast, if you are new to the Vintage Kids, I always try to do my best to talk a bit in French, a bit in English, because as you know, I am in Quebec, and many of our viewers, members, I don't know how to call them, are French, Canadian, or French from anywhere in the world, and my English is not my first language, so I'm sorry, again. Donc, ceux qui sont nouveaux, hein, en française, bien sûr, ben, comme d'habitude, je vais essayer de faire du français et du l'anglaise, hein, pour que tout le monde soit content puis tout le monde essaye de comprendre quelque chose. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on va voir cette semaine? De qu'est-ce qu'on va parler? Avant, je vais mettre le banner. Voilà, il est marqué drette là, ici. Épisode 68. Alors, bienvenue à épisode 68. Ça fait 68 heures au moins qu'on jase, vous et moi, là. J'en dis-tu des niaiseries? Oui, mais c'est pas grave. Moi, ça me fait du bien. Hein? Ben oui. So, welcome to the 68th episode of The Vintage Kids, and trust me, you're in for a blast. Like I said, today's going to be a very special day for me. I'm going to talk about the Mythbusters. Donc, cette semaine, on va parler des Mythbusters. You say, what? This is not a vintage thing. Yes, it's kind of a vintage thing because it's been 20 years since the debut of the Mythbusters history. And donc, ça fait 20 ans que Mythbusters est sorti à la télévision. And what is the Mythbusters? It's a TV show that played from 2003 to 2016. C'est une émission de télé qui a joué entre 2003 jusqu'à 2016, du moins avec les acteurs qu'on a connus. At least with the actors or the hosts that were there for the longest. They tried to do some stuff afterwards, but, you know, don't screw around with something that works. That's my opinion. But failure is always an option. But this time, I'm not sure. Anyway, we would have to ask Adam about this. So, who are the Mythbusters? What I'm going to do, I'm going to show a 2-minute intro of the episode. Bonsoir, King. Monsieur Gendron, là, c'est pas écœurant, là. Je suis content que vous soyez avec moi, là. Je vous le dis, là, you are in for a blast this week. So, I'm gonna give you a little flashback. I'm gonna bring you back to this wonderful era when we were able to watch Mythbusters every week. So, let me show you a little clip. Enjoy it. Feel it, whatever, how you like it, but here we go. Blast from the past.
On this feature-length episode of Mythbusters, strap in for a high-flying, rocket-powered, adrenaline-fueled joyride.
Here comes chaos.
Because the team mashed metal in 4 fables of automotive mayhem. First, Adam and Jamie feel the need for speed. Will a city bus flip at 50?
Hey, no guts, no glory.
And the original compact Impact is revised and supersonically supersized.
Holy crap!
Then Cary, Grant, and Tori find out if a luxury car can really drive faster than gravity.
This is gonna be nuts.
And finally, do these silver screen chase scene cliches match up to reality? So get on board the Mythbus.
Jumping in mayhem, hijinks, horseplay, and destruction. Step on.
Because this is the Demolition Derby Special. Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage
I love results.
and Jamie Heineman.
I'm not so sure this is a good idea.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
We broke some stuff.
Joining them, Tori Belleci,
Light it on fire.
Grant Imahara, and Carrie Byron.
Well, we may not have had hand grenades, but at least we still have good chemistry.
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
No, Mitzi. I wanted to say that before and I forgot. The wonderful thing about that show is, well, things, because there's so many amazing things that made that TV show great. At least from my point of view and from many others, but let me give you why I'm saying this. Donc, pour moi, l'émission, c'est pas juste une affaire, c'est plein d'affaires qui fait que l'émission est merveilleuse. Avant que je vous montre cette vidéo-là, je voulais vous dire de prendre le temps de regarder le pace du montage. Before I wanted to show you this, I wanted to say, take the time to look at the pace of the editing. It's so well made. As you know, I've been doing this for a while, editing stuff and filming and whatever. And every beginning of every show is different. And I'm going to go check. Bonsoir, Barnac. Come down, Chips. Jim Arsenault is in the house. So the editing of that show is amazing. Every beginning of the show is different, depending on what they were showing. Explosions, one-liners. So another reason why I love that show, the humor, l'humour, the chemistry between the hosts, and that famous chemistry between Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman. And we've learned, and we could have guessed it, but they are far from friends. So there's like this love and hate relationship, but they understand each other, but you know that they don't really enjoy being with one another because they're so different. Donc, le fait que les deux animateurs sont pas pantoute pareils, puis ça marche pas entre les deux. Puis encore aujourd'hui, c'est pas des amis, ça n'a jamais été des amis, mais ils ont travaillé ensemble. Anyway, that's another thing. And for me, personally, the reason why I just love that show, except for the humor, except for it's the science. It's the knowledge. I've always been a kid, a person, a human, or whatever. Am I a really human? I don't know. That needed to learn stuff. J'ai toujours été quelqu'un qui a toujours voulu apprendre. J'ai encore ce besoin-là. I still have that need to learn. So when I watch something, I'm gonna watch documentaries. I'm trying to learn stuff about history. I want to learn stuff about how thing works. So when that show came to TV, I said, oh my God, that show is for me. Donc, j'ai besoin d'apprendre. Et quand j'ai vu Mythbusters arriver, ils expliquent la science en arrière des mythes. So what they do, they actually take urban myths. Ils prennent des mythes, ils les testent pour voir si c'est confirmed, plausible, or busted. That's all that they did for 14 years. And it was amazing. So I started to watch the show pretty early on. I freaked out on it right away, like I said, with the host, the chemistries and stuff. I'm going to go through a very quick history about it because I've got so much stuff to talk about because I have my own personal story with the Mythbusters. So much stuff to say. So, like I said, the show actually started in 2003. Le show a commencé en 2003 jusqu'en 2016 avec Adam, Jamie, Tori, Grant puis Carrie. Comme nous, on les a connus. Une autre affaire qui fait que le show est merveilleux. Something else that made that show so wonderful, and we don't really see it right away, but it's kind of another Mythbuster. It's part of the team. It's Robert Lee. Who's Robert Lee? Le fait que le show est aussi bon, si on s'en rend pas vraiment compte, mais c'est à cause de Robert Lee. Robert Lee is the narrator. C'est le narrateur, la voix qui raconte les épisodes. The voice of the Mythbusters. And this guy is so good. He is so good to give jokes, put on some stuff right on cue. And think about it. He wasn't there when this guy lives in Australia. And this guy actually received like the text and he write it, but he puts on so much emotion and stuff that you really feel like he's there. He's like right next to the camera and he's living all this with the guys, with the Mythbusters. So Robert Lee, man. The way it happened is donc Robert Lee c'est incroyable la voix. On a vraiment l'impression qu'il est sur place puis il fait partie de, il vit qu'est-ce qu'on voit à l'écran, tu sais. The way it actually happened, Adam Savage was actually working on trying to make a children's show, and he was leaving from San Francisco, heading to New York, and trying to create this new kid show. And he was sure this was heading the right way. Donc, Adam Savage, dans le temps, autour de 2003, est en train de travailler avec du monde à New York. Il partait de San Francisco, il allait à New York pour essayer de partir un show d'émission pour enfants. But in the past, Adam actually worked in the movie industry. He worked with ILM. He worked on Star Wars movies. And that's the reason why we're kind of part of the Vintage Kids also. 3 of the guys on, well, I can't say about Jamie, but 3 of the members of the Mythbusters were actually Star Wars ILM employees. Grant, Tori, and Adam. You can actually find great pictures of them working in ILM. Donc, ces 3 personnages-là, ces 3 êtres humains-là, ont travaillé pour Star Wars, ont travaillé pour ILM, ont travaillé pour Star Wars épisode 1, Star Wars épisode 2, ils ont travaillé sur d'autres projets avec ILM. Terminator 3, The Matrix, Adam, puis les 3, je pense qu'ils ont travaillé sur The Matrix, and other movies. Not Justice League, but Galaxy Quest, I think. Anyway, I'm trying to, it's all in my head, so I'm trying to do my best here. So what happened is that Jamie Heineman, that owns M5 Industries. Donc, Jamie Heineman, qui est propriétaire de la compagnie M5 Industries, faisait des contrats, qui a travaillé également dans le monde de la télé, le monde des commerciales. Il faisait plein de toutes sortes d'affaires, des effets spéciaux pour la télé, pour les films. A reçu une offre d'Australie pour faire le show en passant par Discovery Channel, pour faire une émission Mythbusters. Et il s'est dit, bon, ça va peut-être Yeah, well, it's probably not going to work. I'm going to call Adam. Parce qu'il avait déjà travaillé avec Adam. He already worked with Adam in the past. So he called up Adam and said, yeah, Adam, I've got something that might be interesting. Sorry, Jamie. That's a Grant thing, by the way. Grant came up with this. Anyway, so he calls Adam and says, you want to do a pilot with me? I'm doing this for... Adam said, yeah, okay, let's do this. The funny thing is, when he heard the title Mythbusters, Adam said, what kind of a title is this? It's never going to work. So, okay, let's do this. But in his head, he was pretty sure that TV show for kids would work. And we know the story for the rest. So they did the first season, only them. They did the pilots, and the show just exploded right away. And keep in mind, in 2003, the internet was kind of still beginning. So there were no social media there were no Instagram. There was, I think Facebook was already there, but that was about it. People could actually go on the website and give their comments or impressions or whatever about the show. But that was about it. So anyway, the guys started first season, works like a charm, and they actually realized that there was so much myth to do that they needed more people. So they hired Tori Belleci, that was, like I said, working in ILM with Adam Savage. And en français. Donc, après la première saison, ils ont réalisé qu'il y avait beaucoup trop de travail à faire et ils ont décidé d'engager une autre équipe pour les aider, donc 3 autres personnes. Ils ont engagé Tori Belleci qui travaillait avec ILM avec Adam Savage. On s'est retrouvé aussi avec Scotty Chapman qui travaillait avec M5, qui travaillait avec Jamie Heineman. Et on a, par un pur hasard de l'univers, Carrie Byron qui s'est ramassée aussi à être animatrice du show presque à son insu. So we ended up having the first build team. That was Carrie, Tori, and Scotty Chapman. They were working with Jamie, and Carrie was actually an intern working for Jamie, and she was trying to find a job, and it was not easy because she's an artist, and she was like interested to work to find something. And Jamie actually, when they met, I think, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but someone might know it better than me. Jamie actually loved the artistic part of Carrie. He said, man, she's really good about this. So you want to work at M5 with us as an intern? And she said, yeah, okay. Why not, man? And anyway, I'm going to pass the fact that she had her butt scanned for an episode with the toilet in the plane. And she ended up being in the team. And she's been there. Carrie actually was in 244 episodes. And Adam and Jamie did 285 episodes of Mythbusters. That's a lot of TV shows, man. Okay. After the second year, Scotty left the band, left the show. I don't know why. I don't want to speculate. I have no clue. But I know that she came back to work on other myths after that. So everyone loves Scotty. So Grant Imahara ended up joining the team. And Grant was also a worker, also worked with Adam at ILM. He's a robot specialist. So he brought something so much to the show that all the robotics and the engineering stuff, because as Adam already said, Grant was the only real engineer in the team because all the others weren't engineers. They were learning that stuff while they were doing it and trying it. Donc, la 3e saison, Grant Imahara est arrivé Lui aussi a travaillé avec ILM, avec Adam Savage et Tori Belleci. Il s'est joint, il y a Scotty qui est parti. Et là, on a eu comme un peu les Beatles. Là, on a eu comme le core de Genesis, là, le mainframe that lasted for a long time. So that's about the big picture of Mythbusters. So they debunk urban myths, and it's all about trying it and proving it the best way that they could. Mythbusters became so big. You know that you are really big when you're ending up playing in The Simpsons. So they actually made an appearance in The Simpsons. Tu sais que t'as réussi un peu dans la vie quand t'es rendu que tu joues dans les Simpsons. Fait qu'ils ont fait un épisode où est-ce qu'on voit Adam et Jamie. Ils ont appelé ça The Mythcrackers instead of the Mythbusters. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. And of course, Adam and Jamie provided their voices for this show. The way that they worked for most of the 14 years that Mythbusters was on air, they were actually having crazy hours. And I personally, I would have go probably nuts. The way they used to do it is they would shoot for 3 months non-stop, and then they would have 2 weeks off. So can you imagine doing TV shows, shooting on location, trying to find, because it's huge, it's a huge thing to find what you need, where to blow stuff up, where to do your tests, to get the good contacts, to have access to explosives and guns and whatever. It was amazing. There was an amazing and huge task to do to get there. And every show would not like film one show and then the other one, since there were a lot of times that they would have to wait for a response to have this thing for that myth. They would do multiple episodes in the same week. So can you imagine going there, do some stuff for that show, going back at night to do that other part, and then the next day you would actually go to the bomb range to blow up some stuff, but from 2 or 3 episodes, crazy stuff. And as I said, it was probably not that easy because Adam and Jamie would always do their myths together. Sometimes they would have help from the build team. So Carrie, Grant, or Tori would join them on some of the myths. But most of the time, you've got those 2 guys working together, and they would work well together. That was the thing. They are completely different, but it would make a huge force of creativity. Donc, les deux, Adam et Jamie ne s'entendaient pas nécessairement super bien, mais les deux mis ensemble, ça a créé une entité incroyable pour réussir à arriver à des solutions puis à créer des choses. Les deux ensemble, ça faisait un monstre incroyable. Hey! Christian Dany est avec nous, mesdames et messieurs! Tu iras rechecker au début, mais je vous ai fait un petit cadeau, un petit spécial. Ah ben oui! Donc, c'était pas évident là, pour eux autres de s'endurer comme ça. Puis c'est pour ça qu'à la fin, à la fin que l'émission a arrêté, Adam puis Jamie ont dit I'm not gonna work with this guy anymore. At the end of the show, both of them said I'm not gonna work with this guy anymore. I'm not gonna work with Jamie anymore. That's enough. Like, that's enough. We're not friends. We're co-workers. We did this. That's enough. But again, they would both try to save their lives. Like it's funny because they're saying that they're not friends, but there was this chemistry. Like I said, like a love-hate relationship. Adam would be the best one to explain it. And I would love to have the comments of Jamie. Anyway. Okay. During the those years, I'm probably gonna forget stuff that I want to talk about because I haven't started talking about my own personal experience with the Mythbusters. Yeah, so during all the seasons, eventually, like any person would have to start a family, Carrie got pregnant, so she got replaced for a little while by Jessie Combs. And she was great. Loved her. She did some great stuff with Grant and Tori. Sadly, she passed away not so many years after that she was on Mythbusters. She actually had a race car accident and she passed away. But she was great. Go check what Jessie Combs did. Also what Scotty did. Great stuff. That famous when Tori tries to jump over the red wagon, that's actually an idea from Scotty. Tell him to jump over that wagon, and like he's not gonna make it. Oh yeah, well he's gonna make it. No, he didn't make it. Okay, anyway. So that's about the big picture of all this. I'm already gonna talk about how it actually ended. After 13 years, I don't know. One day we just learned that the build team was out. The reason why, there's all kinds of rumors or there are kinds of versions of it. They're saying that like they were actually renegotiating their contract and perhaps they were asking too much or whatever. And Discovery decided to pull the plug on them. But I heard also that all three of them decided to, like, we're not getting what we want, we're out. So it was a decision from their part. Again, Carrie, if you're watching, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Okay. So we ended up having two last season without the build team, and it kind of changed the dynamic of it because the build team, the chemistry between these three, they were real friends, and you can feel that they really enjoyed and loved each other. So it was fun to watch them work together. Donc, on savait que le build team, la relation entre eux autres était incroyable et extrêmement forte. Fait que c'était beau les voir travailler ensemble. Carrie always said, like, Tori's was kind of my brother and Grant was also kind of my brother. Like siblings. Donc, les trois, c'était un peu comme des frères et sœurs. So we ended up having two seasons only with Adam and Jamie. That's what actually started the show. So there's it's going to work. It's going to work. Of course, it kind of worked. But again, after 14 seasons, after 13 seasons, you totally understand that the ratings, we all end up in a wave that goes actually down. And that's okay. And they were actually heading for negotiation also for their contracts. And I think that Adam and Jamie said, like, we're not going to make the show for less. We understand that we might not have more money for the show, but we're not going to do it for less. So they decided to do a last season. So they announced that this season is going to be the last season of Mythbusters. So it was really sad. Well, for many of us. So now, like I said, my personal relation with that show is that it was one of the only show that I was watching, and it was not only entertainment. It was like a big part of entertainment, big part of funny stuff. And like I said, I've been in the movie, TV, whatever production life, what I do in my life, and what I've been doing, and watching that was so cool because it was like you could feel that it was not a huge production. Like they were trying to do their best with what they got. Donc c'était super intéressant parce que le côté aussi de la réalisation, je le voyais, je le vivais, je voyais que c'était fait avec les moyens du bord. Surtout les premières années. So that part was so interesting also for me. But the science behind everything, I feed on this. But of course, the love of the hosts, the chemistry was amazing. So it was really, 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 really sad when the show stopped. And if you haven't seen the last episode, there's actually a reunion episode when Tori Grant and Carrie actually goes back and they sit down in M5 and they discuss about the past. And it's so good and it's so touching. And you can actually see Jamie, he actually gets emotional about all of this. And it's like, wow, the Heineman has got emotions. And I want to talk about this because I was okay. Now let's talk about my personal part and what I was lucky enough to live through, or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Donc, je vais raconter un peu mon histoire que j'ai eu la chance un peu de vivre avec les Mythbusters. C'est très minime, mais bon, c'est quelque chose quand même qui est cool pour moi. It's something really, you're gonna say, yeah, who cares? Yeah, well, I care because I was freaking out. So here's a little story. I used to work in a college, and at my college, there was something that was coming every year or two. Every college from the province of Quebec would end up at our college, and they would make a science fest, a huge science fest, a week of events and stuff. And I would film that week of event, and I would film all the stuff that the teams would create or whatever. So one day, while it was Mythbusters on TV, I went to the people that were organizing this stuff at the college, since I was working on it. I said, you know what? We should ask the Mythbusters to come to our event. And they said, you're fucking nuts. I remember like, yeah, sure. I said, why not? Bon, en français, donc je travaille dans un collège depuis des années, et à chaque année, 2 ans, il y avait la semaine des sciences humaines. For 1 week, pour une semaine, il y avait des événements de sciences et puis tout ça. Toutes les autres cégeps du Québec se rejoignaient à Laval, et on organisait plein d'affaires. Il y avait plein des soirées, there were seminars and stuff. So, donc, je suis allé voir les organisateurs. Je salue Gilles en passant, si jamais il écoute. Et j'ai dit, man, on invite les Mythbusters à venir faire la semaine avec nous autres. Ça serait capoté. Ils pourraient faire un Q&A. Ils pourraient être là pendant que les gens construisent leurs affaires. Ça serait cool. And guess what? They said, that's a great idea. Why don't you try to contact them and see if it's possible? So I said, oh yes, I will. Donc, ils ont dit, ouais, on va essayer. J'ai fait, OK, parfait. So I remember looking on the internet trying to find a way to reach San Francisco, because their M5 is actually based in San Francisco, and M5 is still there. You can still go outside and see the building. Jamie is actually now working as a teacher in Finland for the last 5 years. But M5 is still around. M5 est encore là à San Francisco. Anyway, I remember I think I've talked to someone at M5 because I called there, and they gave me a number to contact, like the middleman that were taking care of appearance. But now I knew that Adam would make appearance. Je savais que Adam faisait il allait dans des congrès, des affaires de même. Je savais que c'était faisable. Mais Adam et Jamie, j'étais pas sûr. To have both of the guys, I wasn't sure. So I ended up talking with people in the U.S. that were taking care of scheduling their appearance. So we've talked on the phone several times, and at the end, I said, "Okay, so here's our plan. Here's what what we want to do. We want them to come over here in Laval. They will stay in a hotel just next to the college. We have an auditorium. We have a huge theater place with over 800 seats. So I said, we're going to make a special event out of this. People will be able to come and have a Q&A with Adam and Jamie. And I said, I want to be the person that will be the guy on stage, and so everything was set up. I explained everything to the guys over there. I said, not Adam and Jamie, but the people I was talking to. This is what we want to do. I said, okay, it sounds good. Let me get back to you with the prices, because you have to pay for this. So one day they called me back. I remember receiving the phone call, and they said, okay, it's possible. So, okay, it's something that might be possible. I said, cool. All right, we're heading the right direction. But sadly, when I called, it was like when Mythbusters were on the peak of their success. So sadly, the prices that they asked, and again, this is not for only the money for Adam and Jamie. It was for all the trip, all the airplanes, the planes, the hotel, or whatever. We would pay for that. And the price was too high for our event. So sadly, it didn't work. But guess what? During the same month or so, the Mythbusters, Adam and Jamie were starting to do a special tour, and they were coming to Montreal. So they did this special show on stage in Montreal at la Place des Arts. And when I saw this, I said, oh, I have to be there. I have to go and watch this. I'm going to freak out. So I purchased tickets right in the front row or second front row. I don't remember. And I said, I'm going to go there. I'm going to freak out. So the thing that I didn't know is that when you purchase the first rows, you actually became VIP. So I received an email saying, oh, by the way, you're going to meet Adam and Jamie after the show. So I said, oh, great Scott! Donc, tout ça pour dire, pour les faire venir au cégep, c'était trop cher. C'est pas l'argent que Adam et Jamie faisaient, c'était tout le package, les billets d'avion, tout ça. Pour notre événement, on n'avait pas assez d'argent au cégep pour pouvoir payer pour qu'ils viennent. Mais ça a passé proche. Ça a été tellement cool d'avoir Adam et Jamie pendant 2-3 jours au cégep, à se promener et à rencontrer les étudiants. J'aurais capoté ici. Puis je voulais, on a une salle de spectacle qui est la salle André-Mathieu. J'avais dit, on va avoir la salle André-Mathieu, on va remplir ça, on va faire un événement qui va être ouvert au public, on va remplir la salle, on va faire du cash. On se dit, ouais, c'est une bonne idée. Mais bon, anyway, ça n'a pas arrivé. Donc, pendant ce mois-là, c'est le Mid-Tour. They decided to make a Mid-Tour. Donc, ils font le Mid-Tour, ils s'en viennent à la salle à Maison pas Maison des Arts, à la Place des Arts à Montréal. Je m'achète des billets, je suis dans les premières rangées. Puis ce que je savais pas, c'est que les premières rangées, on faisait un meet and greet, qu'on pouvait rencontrer Adam et Jamie après le show. At my surprise, I didn't know that. J'avais aucune idée que ça allait arriver. Donc, je reçois un email. Ah oui, en passant, après le show, tu t'en vas là, puis on va avoir une salle pour toi, tu vas rencontrer Adam et Jamie. Je go, oh! Like a real geek guy. Like, you have to understand how much that show was important to me. Faut que vous compreniez à quel point j'étais attaché à ce show-là à cause que, enfin, j'avais quelque chose qui répondait à mon besoin visuel et cognitif, whatever. So I was in awe in front of the show, but like I said, I really enjoyed those hosts. So anyway, heading to La Place des Arts, I go there, I watch the show. I remember they come up on stage, and I was standing up. I gave them a one-person standing ovation. Anyway, I freaked out. They're there. They're doing their things. And afterwards, they come and get me with other people in the front row. And they said, okay, let's go there. And I remember I'm going to show you the picture. Because that famous picture that I showed you it's a real picture. It's the picture that I took with them. Let me get back. I'm going to disappear for a few seconds. So this picture is the real thing. So that was after the show. And let me tell you about that meeting with them. First of all, I was really nervous, and I knew that I was meeting them. So I remember people that work at the college were saying, "You're going to meet the Mythbusters." And I said, "Yeah." "What are you going to ask them?" And I realized that I didn't want to ask them anything. Donc, j'étais au cégep la journée avant d'y aller ou quelques jours avant, puis là, les gens savaient que j'allais voir Adam Savage, puis j'allais rencontrer les Mythbusters. Ils me disaient, qu'est-ce que tu vas leur demander? Tu sais, tu vas pouvoir leur parler. And I remember I said, I don't want to ask them anything. I want to thank them. I want to say thank you guys for what you are doing. And that's actually what I did. So, lucky enough, I don't remember how many we were there at that event. 20 people, 25? I don't know. I don't remember. But we had the chance to talk with them one-on-one, and then take a picture, shake hands, and watch other people talk with them. And I was lucky enough to be one of the first, and I literally tell them exactly what I said. I said, so they were saying, "Do you have a question for them?" I said, "No." And I remember Jamie's like, "Okay, yeah, okay." And I said, "I don't have a question. I want to take," and I've explained, I've come from college, and we've tried to have you guys at our college, but it was too complicated and stuff. Cost too much. I didn't say cost too much, but anyway. And I said, my students were actually asking me, what are you going to ask them? And I said, nothing, because I want to thank you guys for everything that you are doing and what you did for science and for kids and for people to understand the science that many of us, many humans, wouldn't be interested in it if it wasn't presented like they were presenting it. It was easy to understand and it was well explained. So I said, do you guys actually realize that you are rewriting a lot of the science books right now? And I remember Jamie and Adam said, yeah, we haven't think about that before, but you're right. It's crazy. And I remember I was really, really surprised when we arrived at the beginning of that meet and greet. Adam wasn't there yet. There was only Jamie. And Jamie was so friendly and smiling and having fun and talking with everyone. He was talking with me. And he actually, when I was talking about the fact that I was saying thank you, I remember he said, that's really cool. Thank you very much for that thing. And he said, he took the time to say, by the way, tell your students that we say hi to them. I said, wow, that's amazing. And we shook hands. And I shook Adam's hand, said thank you. And we took that picture. And it's so funny because when we took the picture, it's like Jamie ended up in his character. It's like I'm going to show you that picture again and look at his face. Like 1 nanosecond before that, he was smiling and he was really happy. Look at his face. That was not the face that with the guy I was talking with. He's like, yeah, I'm taking a picture. I need to be Jamie from the show. So it was really fun. And I remember people were asking them questions and stuff. And eventually I left because there were more people that, and I didn't just want to be sitting there like, So I grabbed my stuff and I left after I don't know how many minutes or whatever. And Jamie saw me leave and he looked at me and he said, oh, hey, thank you very much. Have a nice, safe trip home. Take care. Thank you very much. He took the time to say goodbye to me. So I was really, really, really impressed. Adam is Adam. What you see on the show is what you meet in person. But Jamie is, I was really surprised. He was so kind, so nice, so generous. Anyway, so that's my little story with them. Afterwards, when the show was over, I'm going to say in French, donc ça a super bien été. Je les ai rencontrés. Adam, c'est Adam, comme on voit dans le show. Jamie, super friendly, super généreux. Mais quand on a pris la photo, il est comme tombé sur la photo, on voit là. Quand je suis parti, il a même pris le temps de me saluer. It went great, you say. It was an amazing. It's something. They say don't meet your hero. I'm not going to say they're my heroes, but I think that so many of us, so many people hold them so much because they did so much for science. They did so much for making science interesting for kids, for a whole generation. And I'm going to talk about Carrie after that. But anyway, so donc c'était, what an event. It was amazing. Donc ils disent, faut pas que tu rencontres tes héros parce que tu vas être déçu. I was blown away. So friendly. Anyway, it was perfect. So what I want to talk about also is what happened after that. So the show ended and Jamie continued to work on M5. Après le show, Jamie a continué à faire M5. Comme je vous ai dit, il est rendu professeur en Finland. Comment on dit ça en français? Finlande. Hein? Adam started Tested at the beginning also with Jamie, but Jamie, like after a year, stopped working with on Tested. Go check Tested. Go check it out on the web. He's been doing this for 10 years. So Adam's been working. You can see tons of videos of Adam working in his shop. He do some amazing stuff. There's so much great content to watch with Adam. You can sit down and watch for days on end, and you're going to learn so much stuff. He talks about the Mythbusters here. He talks about his experience at ILM with Star Wars. And, it was amazing. It's amazing what he tells. Donc, il y a plein de vidéos. Allez voir tested.com. C'est vraiment, vraiment bon. Tori, I'm not sure what he did. He was in the last Jackass movie. I'm not sure what I don't want to say he's doing this. I am not sure. Sadly, in 2020, on July 13, Grant Imahara died from a brain. Je sais pas le dire en anglais. And he passed away at the age of 49 during the pandemic. So it was so. I remember learning about the news and I freaked out. I literally freaked out. and it was sad. And you can go watch a video that untested that Adam did the day after, and he talks about Grant and stuff. And I know that Carrie, it was really rough on Carrie because she kind of lost her brother. Before Grant passed away, they actually did an amazing show together, Tori Grant and Carrie. They did the White Rabbit Project. So go check that out. I think it's on Netflix. 8-episode aneurysm. Man, those words are hard, man. Dave's not here, man. Yeah, that's exactly what he did, and he passed away. He was working on. When he passed away, he was working on so many stuff. He was working on a Baby Yoda, on Grogu, robotic stuff. He was working with Disney, with the there's the Spider-Man guy that flies around. That's Grant. He did so much stuff. Anyway. So go check White Rabbit Project. They did this show. I think there's 8 episodes or 10 episodes, and it's so great to see them, to have the build team again together, and they kind of bust myths. They try stuff. Worth every minute. Okay, Carrie also wrote a book that is called Crash Test Girl. You have to check it out. She's been working on so many things. I mean, it was hard to see her go from Mythbusters because she was the girl of the group, and I know that she changed lives of so many girls and women around the world. It was fun to see her do so much great stuff, science stuff and testing stuff. She is still an icon for so many people. And she's a co-founder of Explore Media that actually helps kids from grade 5 to 10. There's video stuff. She's there. Go check that out. I mean, I can only say thank you, not only for Mythbusters, but for everything that you actually do. She's also implicated in National STEM Challenge. Go check that out. Also, she's working really hard, and good job. And the amazing thing about all of this is I was lucky enough, and this is gonna show you how these people are great, and they're not superstars. I just wrote that comment about hockey players from gym, and you're right. I've worked with the Montreal Canadiens for 8 years, and there's so many. You meet them, sometimes you're a hero and you're so disappointed because sadly there's some people are like, I don't care about fame, I don't want to meet you, I don't care about you. And that's the case in a lot of back in our days, they weren't all Jean Béliveau and Guy Lafleur people, you know. Some were huge jerks, like you're saying. But for the Mythbusters guys, I cannot talk about Grant. I cannot talk about Tori because I haven't never had the chance to talk with them. But here's my little story with Carrie. I don't remember when it started, but one day I'm following Carrie on Instagram. And one day I actually liked or post or whatever, or I wrote something down, and she actually replied to me. I said, oh my God, Carrie Byron just replied to me personally in the personal chats. I said, wow, that's amazing. I said, that must be a mistake, you know, but no, it's not a mistake. And I've been not chatting with her, but I send her stuff. She sends me replies. So we have this kind of nice relationship, right, or relation on social media. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but that shows you how generous she is. She takes the time to read the messages that she gets, and she takes the time to reply. She takes the time to tell you whatever. So I remember the first time that it was about a joke. I sent her a joke, and I love the fact that the joke, she replied with another joke and a science joke within. So I was really surprised. Oh my God, she's right. So wow, she took the time to reply to my stupid joke, but she replied it as a science girl. Like, I'm a Mythbusters. I know this. I'm gonna send you another joke right in your face. I was really surprised, and that's the I've talked to her. I've exchanged with her. I don't talk to her on the phone. I exchanged with her the last few weeks again, and I've been rewatching the Mythbusters because I really, really, like I said, I'm in love with that show. And I decided to do this episode on Mythbusters because I'll never be able to talk to say everything that I want to say about Mythbusters in an hour. So I said, I'm going to make an episode on Mythbusters. It's going to be a great subject. I love this subject. I know what to talk about, and I have a personal story to tell. That's cool, with the college and meeting them and stuff. And of course, Carrie. So like I said on the post, yesterday when I decided to make that episode, I took the time to write a message to Carrie saying, I'm going to make an episode on Mythbusters. And if you want to see it, here's the link. And she sent me a little heart. Man, that's amazing. I said, wow, okay, cool. So perhaps she's going to watch this eventually. If she don't, I don't care. It's okay. But just to give you an idea, it shows you how much these people, they're not superstars. They're regular people, and I think that made that show so special. Jamie's not a superstar. Adam's not a superstar. There's no superstars in that. They are regular people, regular Joes, and I think that's what made that show also so wonderful. So let me check my notes if I forgot something. Like I said, they did 285 episodes, Jamie and Adam. Carrie did 244. Go check White Rabbit Project. You're not going to be disappointed. After that, they actually tried to do stuff with trying to reboot Mythbusters. They did Mythbusters Project, or I don't remember, Mythbusters Search. They actually tried to replace Adam and Jamie with two new person. I haven't watched it. Like I said, don't try to replicate something that works so well. It's not, you won't be able to do it. Don't try to replace Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? Don't try to have a chemistry with two actors or two people and trying to replicate this with others. It's not going to work. After that, Adam actually came back for Mythbusters Junior. I haven't watched it. I have to watch it. I'm going to have to find it on the web. It's probably great because Adam is amazing. He's a kid. He's like me. Whatever the age he's going to be in his life, he'll always be a kid, just like me. So guys, that's it. I think that's it. I don't have any other information on my little notes. So that's it. Go check out, go rewatch a few episodes of Mythbusters. It feels so good to watch it again. I wrote something to Carrie a week ago. I said, it feels so good to see Grant again with you guys, and you can actually feel that what you see on screen was how he was in real life. And it's funny because like 2 or 3 days ago, I was watching Adam on YouTube, and that's exactly what he said. He said, when you're with Grant, you're with the Grant on Mythbusters. He was the Grant that you would see on TV. Merci à toi, merci à vous. Thank you very much for being with me again, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna say it's kind of a hommage. C'est comme un hommage à Mythbusters, mais ça a tellement été important dans ma vie, pas de les rencontrer puis de tout ça, non, mais l'impact que cette émission-là a eu sur ma vie, sur moi, c'était huge. It was huge. So, guys, as I always say, be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Have an amazing week. Passez une bonne semaine. On se revoit la semaine prochaine. Happy Halloween. I forgot to say Happy Halloween this week. It's Halloween. Yeah. So, that's it. Have an amazing week. Faites attention à vous. On se revoit la semaine prochaine. If you have suggestions, if you have any questions, send me a message. I'll be happy to reply. Si vous avez des questions, vous avez des suggestions, prenez le temps de m'écrire. Ça va me faire plaisir. See you in Miss Audrey tomorrow night. Yes. I think Audrey won't be there tomorrow night, but I will. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for the people that will join the MMC. Go check the MMC. Go check You Didn't Win That page. You can win stuff for free with our amazing group, with my amazing lover, Kirk Keck. That's another person that deserves his personal own show with Kristen Lee. I mean, there's something to do there. So many great people. I love you guys so much. You have no idea how important you guys are. My MMC family. So that's it. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing week. On se revoit la semaine prochaine. Remember, don't try anything at home. Don't try anything that you see at home. Don't drink that cup. All right, that's it. Bye tout le monde.